setter.
We competing today. I see some gas off the edge. Get that mindset to put your shoulder on somebody.
Dig, drop, you're finished.
Hey, first down. He's a good kid. Worse than that, sir.
Yeah! All right, Jets fans, we are back. Matter of fact, let me put on the right hat. I can't believe I made it through the whole other stream with the wrong hat on. Nobody told me, everybody. Welcome to the After Hours Jets Fest. My name is Green Bean. I am happy to be with you for this little private session that we have on Tuesday evenings following the 2-hour Talking Jets panel with the great Matt O'Leary and Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. My buddies, we just finished up 2 straight hours, and now we come over here and we talk a little bit about the other stuff, whatever's left, right? All the stuff. It's going to be great. Oh, Dick Chimney's Burner checking in. He won the giveaway earlier on the Talking Jets panel, courtesy of this fella right here, Infrared Jets, Dick Chimney's Burner. That's the guy who gave it to you. So my email is bean@greenbeanjetsfan.com. So bean@greenbeanjetsfan. Send me your, just email me. And then I think what I need is just that. Infrared, do I need anything else? Let me know if there's anything else I need. But what I'll do is I'll transfer the tickets to you digitally, and then you can go. He won the 2 tickets to the MetLife New York Jets draft party, which is going to be a friggin' blast. I've never been to that one. I don't know if I can't tell you I've ever been to a draft party that wasn't ours. Like I would watch the draft and I would do all that stuff, but never like a party. We did chat rooms and stuff on Jet Nation back in the day. And I would stay on the message board there and do all that stuff. But I haven't done an actual party for the draft. I've always, like ours, me, Matt, and Ryan, did the Talking Jets one last year. Had so many of you guys come out. That was amazing in Long Island. So we're not doing an in-person this year, but we're going to be live for all 3 days of the draft, starting approximately 7 p.m. on Thursday evening over on Talking Jets YouTube channel. It's going to be great. Let me get a little drinky poo here. Let me get myself a schnauze. Little schnauzer. All right. So congrats, Dick Chimney's Burner. That's going to be a blast. I got to tell you guys, this is such an interesting year from my perspective. I know it's all of us, right? We're in this together. We share a brain, I think, all of us. So it's going to be interesting to see. I got to tell you, I'm piqued about what this new regime is going to look like in the draft. Now, we heard Muji talk a little bit this week, earlier today. I think it was. Maybe it was yesterday. The days kind of bleed together for me right about now in my life. But I'm really hoping. See, this is the thing. I'm excited. And I think that we have an opportunity this year. I got to tell you, here's the thing. I got to really tell you, I'm more comfortable in the underdog spot, right? The lack of hubbub. Last 2 years, we had just a ton of hubbub. And quite frankly, the Jets don't deserve it, right? Can we say that? Like, with all due respect to us, our team, our ownership, our fans, our players, all that stuff. I got to lower my lights a little bit here. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit. I'm feeling, let me see here. A little too dark. There we go. We'll do that. Let me see if I can change the color a little bit, and then I'll continue. What do you think? A little red? A little pink? A little yellow? How about orange? Let's do the orange. Let me see. I'm just checking some stuff out here. No, I think I'm going to go back to the blue, but not quite as much. Here we go. We'll do this. All right, we did it. My eyes, it's bothering my eyes. The light, you don't realize, guys, I have this big bright light like right in front of my face. We just did 2 hours and it starts to get me some nights. Some nights I'm like, oh, I can't deal anymore. So anyway, we had a lot of hubbub, a lot of hype, other people might call hubbub. So we had a lot of hype. They put us on way too many primetime games the last 2 years. And obviously that was because of the addition of Aaron Rodgers. The Jets we had a little bit of momentum, right? We saw in 1 year, the Jets, who traditionally don't see lots and lots of players get inducted to the Hall of Fame. In 1 year, we saw Darrelle Revis become a first ballot Hall of Famer. And on the same night, we finally got Joe Klecko, Jets great from the New York Sack Exchange days, arguably the best player we've ever had, right? Obviously, look, you got Joe Namath, you got Don Maynard, and we got Curtis Martin, right? We got Avi Revis. But Joe Klecko was unique in that he was, not a first-round pick. So we didn't have the pedigree, number one. He came out of a small school. But he was an all-pro at different positions, 3 different positions. And that's an incredible thing. So we saw him finally, after 20-plus years of bitching and moaning to the NFL about the fact that this guy, the only reason he's not in is because he was on bad teams. He was on the New York Jets. If Joe Klecko, identical stats, same career, if he had a Steelers helmet on, if he had a Dallas Cowboys helmet on, or any of the Redskins, the Giants, or any of these teams, the Niners, and he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. So we finally get him in. The same, we see a first ballot, and we see Joe Klecko finally get in. On that same night, we see 2 Jets draft picks become the offensive and defensive rookies of the year. Crazy, right? So you see Garrett Wilson, offensive rookie of the year, Sauce Gardner, defensive rookie of the year. And that's also, we brought in Breece Hall and Jermaine Johnson, right? And then we had Quinn Williams and all this. We have CJ Mosley. We had all this hype. So on top of that, you bring in Aaron Rodgers. And it was like, oh my God, right? We know. So clearly the Jets didn't handle that whole situation very well. Obviously, the injury impacted us the 1 year with Aaron Rodgers going down in the first game. But the next year, so we saw Zach Wilson, and we had 6 primetime games, 7 primetime games. The next year, the NFL comes out and actually says, we felt like the Jets owed us one. We owe them somehow because Aaron Rodgers got hurt and they put all this bullshit money and all this stuff into the Jets. We owe them now. We didn't tell you to put us on Monday Night Football and all that shit. So they do it to us again, and we pull out a big whopping 5 wins. So we have to blow it up. Robert Saleh's fired. Joe Douglas is fired. We cut Aaron Rodgers. We cut Devontae Adams. We cut CJ Mosley. We let Solomon Thomas walk and DJ Reed walk and all these guys. Kinlaw and Reddick, that whole thing. We see all these guys go. Conklin. And now here we are. We bring in a former New York Jets player who has felt the pain that we felt. In his intro presser, he mentioned the 1998 AFC Championship game against the Denver Broncos. He said, I want that one back. So he carries with him some of the pain that we carry, which is interesting. It's unique. So we're going into this draft, and the Jets are not going to be Monday Night Football. They might, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers, they might just give us a Monday Night Football against the Steelers. And they might give us the third damn season in a row that we start the season Monday Night Football. Think about that. The NFL puts the Jets as the first opening week Monday Night Football game 2 years in a row. Could they do it again? Justin Fields versus Aaron Rodgers. Crazy. But even if they do that, the Jets are going to be on a whole mess of 1 o'clock games. And I like it. I like it. See, we still have a nice young core. You still have Quinn and Quincy Williams. You still have Sauce Gardner. You got Jamie and Sherwood. Right? You have Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. You have Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and Garrett Wilson. Right? You have Olu Fashanu, Elijah Vera-Tucker, and Joe Tippmann. You still got, so we still, this chair, man. I got to get a new chair. Something's happened with it. Keeps crushing me. Remember the other night? You guys watching it actually cut my foot. But anywho, so we still got this nice young core. You bring in the old Jets players, fucking pissed off. He feels the Jets' pain. We made all these tough decisions, and we're going into the draft. And here's what I'm going to tell you guys. The Jets can be sneaky into the positive side of things. Now, it really does. I wish it wasn't such a big, fat question mark with our quarterback, right? The good side, we've talked about it, you know? The good side is he's 24 years old. He's got 4 years of NFL experience now. He started in this league. He played for a better organization last year, started 6 games, was 4-2. Not great, but not terrible either. Little upticks, super athletic, very strong arm. Played with Garrett Wilson before, right? To a high level, very much success. So we have all this. So it's still a question mark. We know the other side of that is he sucks, right? That's the thing. Up to this point, yep, you can definitely put the positives out there. But if we're being, look, it's just us. We're all friends. The guy sucked up to this point. Can we just say that? It's like if somebody got Zach Wilson right now, then their fans are talking like this. We're looking at him like, dude, take him. I mean, it's there. I mean, I don't know. But, so that's the thing. But the Jets have an opportunity this week, guys. We did some interesting things in free agency. Nothing crazy. But you got some guys that are potentially, depending on coaching, sneaky good. Andre Sisco, Noddy on the defensive line. We don't know what this Brandon Stevens guy is going to be. Right? He played for the Ravens. He's played well at times, but not great. But if Aaron Glenn, they're, the way that they're going to use him and all that shit, you know what I mean? So we made some moves. And now we're going into the draft. We can do something. If we're smart, you can't, 2 things. 1, you can't go into this doing this swing for the fences thing, which is why I titled the video what I did, the Jets' boring ass draft plan. You can't go in and do a boom or bust. You just can't do it. You can't be fools. I would take right now the sure thing, again, like we say, the lower the floor, the better. The higher the floor, I mean. No. The higher the floor. We want high floor guys. Even if they're not spectacular, lower ceiling, but higher floor, I think that's the order of the day for non-premium positions. Like tight end, like defensive tackle, like safety. We got a free safety. We're really looking for a strong safety. So I want a high floor, strong safety. Now, good. Listen, that doesn't mean you're getting somebody that sucks, but a guy that has less potential to bust, that's the route to go. And the other thing is, like we've talked about time and time again, I am of the thought, do not take a quarterback in this class. Just don't do it. I love Milroe as a project. I really do. I like Jackson Dart well enough. I like McCord. I've looked into a little bit. I can't tell. I'm not an expert, but I like Shogi, Shu. You know what I mean? So there's some guys that are, but it's not, dude, don't do it. You got Justin Fields, you got Tyrod Taylor, and you got Jordan Travis. I mean, if you get an undrafted guy or whatever, that's fine. Do not use your picks on a quarterback this year. Fill out safety, fill out tight end, fill out your offensive line, and let's call this fucking, linebacker. Let's call this a day. You know what I mean? Let's build. And I think with the 1:00 games, the lack of hubbub, I think we can be sneaky competitive this year. That's what I think. So let's say hello to our newest Stream Beaner member, the great David Atkins. Welcome to the team, my friend. Drop some love in the chat for Mr. Atkins. Where is it? Boom, bom, beam, bom, boom, bom, bo. There it goes, buddy. That's for you. Love, love, love. 100, 100, 100. There you go. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support. Enjoy your emojis. Enjoy your free super chats. And enjoy the content. Admittedly, I haven't put out any exclusive, private content in a minute. I keep meaning to, man. But I'm just a busy, busy fella. So let's say hello to some folks in the chat. My monologue is substantial enough. So Flight Boys taking us out from the beginning here. Welcome, buddy. Christopher Byers, our good bud, checking in. Please like, support, subscribe to the channel. Green Bean deserves it. Love him, our New York Jets brother. Please tune into the stream after hours for our guy, Green Bean. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the love, Chris. You're a good man. I love it. MJ Edits checking in. Yakov Gardner, Garber. Welcome. Just saw the latest NFL draft final predictions. Talking Jets, your head is jerking to the right when you talk. Be aware. My head? Yeah, I do all kinds of crazy shit. I have what we call Tourette syndrome. You guys might not know that about me, but I've been riddled with Tourette syndrome my whole life. I have tics. So right now I'm doing a thing where it's a whole head thing. It switches from one to the next. I got a foot thing I do. I've done all kinds of crazy shit. I used to do this one. Check this out. He's going to come back later and say, that's not even what I meant. Talking Jets, your head is jerking to the right when you talk. Be aware. Oh, no. Thank you for the warning. But I used to do this. Check this out. When I was young. So, again, I have cyclical tics. So I had this one tick, and it's probably come 3 or 4 times in my life. But check this out. This is how bad it was. So I used to do this. I had to stick my tongue out as far as it could. I had to feel like the pull underneath. I had to feel that. That's what satisfied the tick. And my father hated it. And he would try to make me stop, right? So he would, not that he would really did it, but he would sit with me with pliers and he would try to grab it, try to grab my tongue. And I had to do it. So, anywho, I don't know if you guys knew about my Tourette's. Did you guys know that? I make all kinds of weird noises and pops and clicks and shit. It's a weird thing. But anyway, Swamp Ranger, you made it, buddy. We were talking beforehand. Welcome to the show, my friend. Billy SBC's been hanging out a long time. Oh, look, he says that. Been a long time since the fan base was this evenly divided about what the Jets are going to do in the first round. Well, I know it's kind of whittled down. I think most Jets fans are either on the Tyler Warren or the Armand Membu teams, right? I think that's what Billy, it's probably what you're referencing. And that's probably safe to say that that's more of us are there. Now, there are still the guys in the Mason Graham camp, right? You know that. You see them out there, right, Billy? Now, early on, we had a much larger contingent of Jets fans in the Mason Graham camp. But not so much anymore. Now, the Jets, we did a lot to the defensive line in free agency. Nothing crazy. We didn't add any superstars or anything. But here's the thing I want to remind everybody. LT3 is a stud. Okay. Now he got a year under his belt. He was an undrafted free agent who was, dude, guys, they were talking about him in the third round, second, third round. I don't remember exactly what happened. Tigo and Dom would be better to ask. They would remember more clearly. But I don't remember. But anyway, he slides. It happens. Things happen. We saw him on the field. Dude, he's a slippery, strong fella, and he can penetrate. So he's a really good third down defensive tackle. Really good. So I like him. Right? You got Quinnen he's there. You got Noddy, he's there. They're going to get their playing time. LT3 is an X factor. And let it be quiet. I think he's the real deal. In addition to that, Fedarian Mathis, man, he's here. Like Jets, the Jets got two guys on the defense that no one is talking about. And it's not, look, it's really low risk, high potential reward. But Fedarian Mathis has stud potential. Jamin Davis was a first-round pick just a handful of years ago. Right? What is Jamin Davis? Let me see what year. I forget. Let me see. Jamin Davis. All right, let's see here. Let me just see what year. So he's got 8 sacks in his career. Here's that. So 2021. So he's the Zach Wilson draft. He was a first-round pick. What pick was he? 19th overall, guys. 19th overall pick in the first round just 4 years ago. So he was drafted by the Washington football team. They weren't the Commanders yet. They were the football team. Remember that? So anyway, you got these guys. So on a defensive line, you bring in a couple low-rung guys, but Noddy's real deal. He's kind of the blue-collar guy that does the dirty work for other guys to succeed. You need those guys around. I really like that signing. I'm going to tell you. So I don't know. I think, the fact that we did a little bit of free agent work, I think and the fact of how deep the draft is at defensive tackle, it cooled a lot of Jets as far as the defensive tackle in the first round. Not to say they couldn't still do it. Like if Tyler Warren, Will Campbell, and Membu were all gone in the top 6 picks, I don't see that happening. But that would leave guys. So that would be Carter. I'm sorry. Yeah. Ward. Sorry. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter. If Will Campbell or Membu and Tyler Warren are gone, that leaves one. So who's that? Genty, probably. So that pushes Mason Graham right to you. You got Mason Graham sitting there as one of the guys, and then you got the cornerbacks. Obviously, that put Abdul Carter. So I don't know. I think Mason Graham. It's tough. I think he's probably gone. But guys, it's only 6 players. So there's going to be a lot of players that slide. But most Jets fans are in the Tyler Warren or Membu camps. It's interesting. Like Boba Bombs says we have to draft Tyler Warren. And then he continues, says he's a blue chip, does everything. If Tanner is serious, offensive coordinator, he will use him. Right, man. Engstrand, baby. Right? That's our guy. This guy, oh man, if he's good, it changes everything. We haven't seen a real offensive coordinator here for any length of time in a long time, man. Adam Gase had no offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh had 2, and even if you like Mike LaFleur, which I did, he was only here 2 years. So think about it, right? We had 2 offensive coordinators for Saleh. No offensive coordinator really for Gase. 3 offensive coordinators in 4 years for Todd Bowles. Who was before him? Rex. He had 3 offensive coordinators. He had Schottenheimer, Sperano, and Morningwig, right? Morningstar Farms. So we've had, dude, that's a lot of years. That's 12 year, right? So Rex was here 6, Salah's here 4, that's 10, Gase 2, that's 12 years. We had 3, 5 offensive coordinators and Adam Gase. So let's call it 6. In 12 years, we've had 6 offensive coordinators. Really, Saleh had 3 because Hackett and then Downing. That's crazy. That's 7 offensive coordinators in 12 years, guys. So if Tanner Engstrand comes in and he's worth a shit and we get him for 3-4 years, changes everything if he's good. Love Bites is here. Infrared, as I mentioned. Wonderful. James Thompson hanging out. Yeah, me too, buddy. It's all about that 7th pick. Chris Bio, I said hello to Chris already. Who we got? Rover Bet is in the house. So you're saying Warren equals Kyle Brady. Well, let me ask you a question. Let's take a look at Kyle Brady. Because Kyle Brady, the reason that he's got such a bad name is really more about who we passed over to get him. It's not so much about the player. Because he wasn't a terrible player and he had a long career in the NFL. So here's Kyle. Think about this for a first-round pick. I'll share my screen. So check it out. Kyle Brady. So the Jets drafted him. What pick was he again? 9th overall. This was the one we were yelling what? Warren Sapp. We want Sapp. We want Sapp. And the Jets took Kyle Brady. So, like, again, if it wasn't for that and you just got this production from him, I mean, look, what is this? This is a 12-year career, right? $13 he played in the NFL, Rover. That's a success. He played most years. So look, the first year, rookie year, we passed on Warren Sapp and we got 26 receptions. Not his fault. We sucked. The next year, he gets 15 receptions. Crazy. Then he gets 22 receptions, then 30 receptions. Garbage. Then he goes to Jacksonville. He has 32. 64 receptions, gets in the Pro Bowl that year. No, he didn't. I thought he did. 64 receptions for 729. So he was never great, right? Never great. But he had a 13-year career, most of it with Jacksonville. They loved him. He was just a solid player. The other thing with Kyle Brady is it wasn't all pass receiving. He was a thunderous blocker. He was a big, strong man. What was he? Let me see. 6'6", 278 pounds. That's why Kotite couldn't pass him. He said, it's impossible. I can't pass him. I can't pass up a player like that. So never great, but not bad either. If you got a 13-year career out of Tyler Warren, now granted, if he's only with the Jets for 4 years, so if we got the same thing, to your point, it would blow. It's not worth the 7th overall pick, and I think that's your point. But anyway, I think his career is a little bit different than people remember. He was just a very solid player. Gave you the receiving. You know, he was a good receiving outlet, like decent, but he was a really good blocker too. So that's the thing with Kyle Brady. Let me catch up. I'm gonna catch up on the bottom here. Oh, I got a super chat. I almost didn't see that. Hennessy checking in. What's up, buddy? He says, doesn't it feel like Christmas Eve is tomorrow? It sucks because Jets fans, this is what we have to look forward to. I hope Glenn and company change that. I know. And it's weird too, Hennessy, because again, coming out of last year, the last 2 years, the hype was so massive that it's really hard to get excited. It really is, knowing full well, no matter what we do, if we're sneaky competitive like I'm talking about, we're not a Super Bowl team. We know that. So no matter what, we're going into this year and it's like, you know what I mean? It's tough. So we just want to see You want to see some good foundational building blocks. You want to see discipline installed. You want to see guys like Garrett Wilson feast, Brees Hall, Braylon. You want to see the beginnings of what you feel like, okay, we got something here. We'll fill in the last bunch of positions. And I'll tell you what, if the miracle happens and Justin Fields actually becomes somebody, then come on. Then it's a whole different thing. So thank you, Hennessy. Yeah, man, it is. I'm excited about it. I really am, because I really do want to get to know these guys. But I have a feeling it's going to be somewhat boring. I'd love to see the infrared plan. I want to see them trade back twice in the first. I would love it. Get us like an extra. If you trade back twice in the first round, you're more than likely going to get a couple seconds or a first next year. That would be great. I would love to see them trade back once to like maybe, let's just call it the 15 to 18 range. Get that second round pick and maybe some change, a second and a fifth, second and a sixth, something like that. I'd love to see that. And then if you slid back again and were able to get another second or like a third and a fifth, now we're talking, because now you can use those picks to take those extra seconds and thirds and move up, you know what I mean? And do some things. But just having like, if we came out of this with like a later round first, and you grab the Ibukas, the Lovelands, you know what I mean, of the world. Kenneth Grant, if you're going to go defensive tackle. Because I'll tell you what, if you trade back and you get 2 seconds and a fifth or whatever, and then you take Kenneth Grant, I'm going to be fine with that. Be really fine with that. But if you can go into this draft with a mid to late round first, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fifths, 2 sixths, like now we're talking. Now you can really do some hard work on the foundation of this team. Fill out that safety position, fill out that tight end position, get yourself a wide receiver too. Get your pipeline offensive lineman. You know what I mean? Linebacker, get him in here. Now we're talking. Yeah, Dick Chimney's burner. We don't take call-ins for the draft. It's too much. It's too much. I mean, maybe I can't predict anything, but traditionally speaking, we don't take call-ins on the first round of the draft. Maybe on the day 3, we might, but not Thursday night. It's too much. It's just too much, everybody. We'll do let me see something here. Hold on a second. Let me take a look at what we're looking at. All right. Don't forget to give me those milk thumbs, everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, here we go. Yay for the milk thumbs. Don't forget to do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It's greatly appreciated. I'm like 3 subscribers away from the next tier, which is 13,700 subscribers. I'd love to get over that tonight. On the way to 14,000, everybody. We'll get us to 14,000 and beyond. That's what we'll do. But yeah, call-ins are tough for the draft. But again, day 3, once it settles down a little, but we have a lot of picks on day 3. We got a 4th, 2 5th, 2 6th. That's going to be fun. It's going to be nice and fun. Well, I think Hams, I think Brady was definitely first round worthy. I mean, that's not in question. 9th overall, maybe not. He was definitely a first round pick pedigree. Coming out of Penn State, again, 6'6", 278 pounds. He was massive. What were his college stats? Let me see what his college stats were like. Let me see. Kyle Brady, real quick. College stats. Let's see. I mean, nothing crazy. Maybe, it's funny because it was a different game back then. You know what I mean? Running backs were still quarterbacks were always the king, but running backs were, first rounders all day, every day. Now it's like you see 1 or 2 here and there, but it's like back in the day, running backs were the shit. We were seeing running backs as league MVP and all that kind of stuff. It's a different game. It's a different game. 278 pounds, 6'6" tight ends going in the first. Back then, too. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to argue really, but I'm just, whatever. I think the biggest thing about Kyle Brady was you passed on Warren Sapp, and we needed a defensive tackle. We did end up getting Hugh Douglas with our second first-round pick that year. He was a badass. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Had a great career with the Eagles. Not Hall of Fame, though. Different tier, definitely. Let's see. Yep, Michael, that was the way. Oh, Jeremy's in the house. What's up, Chaos? Good to see you, buddy. Warren is a totally different player than Kyle Brady. It's an absolutely ridiculous comparison. Same school. It's not ridiculous. He's a fucking Penn State tight end, Jeremy. It's not a ridiculous comparison. It's come on. It's ridiculous only because, we're talking about, what year was that? 1995? You know what I mean? 1995 to 2025. That's, the game's totally different. But it's a definite comparison, especially because we're talking about the Jet. There's so many parallels, it's crazy. How tall is Tyler Warren again? 6'4", I think, right? So Kyle Brady was 6'6", 278 pounds. That is nuts. Let me see. Tyler Warren is 6'6", 250 pounds. So look at the parallels, Jeremy. You argumentative bastard. They're both tight ends. They're both from Penn State. They're both 6'6". They're both being talked about as first-round picks, top 10, by the New York Jets. Jesus Christmas. And the stats are fucking ridiculous. The only difference is Tyler Warren exploded last year. Kyle Brady didn't have that. Tyler Warren, this is the supporting piece for Jeremy's side of the argument, which is he had, oh Jesus, I'm burping a lot. Hiccups, burping. He had 104 receptions last year for 1,233 yards and 8 touchdowns. That's what Kyle Brady didn't have that. Kyle Brady's best college year was, drum roll please, 27 catches. So a whole different thing. But again, a different game. It was a different sport. Very run heavy. We didn't have the CBA that we have. It's just totally different. Remember, this was the era where defense wins championships, man. Jeremy, there's so many parallels, buddy. Jeremy's feeling, what is it? Only idiots didn't love Bowers. What's wrong with you? You okay? You mad? Did your wife find your stash of McDonald's double cheeseburgers, which he's not even eating anymore? Jeremy's looking, he's so good. He's doing so well. What are you so angry about? What is Jeremy angry about? Doesn't matter. I mean, think about this, Jeremy. How different can their skill sets be at 6'6", 250, 280? How different can they really be? You know what I mean? Really. The thing is, Kyle Brady was a significantly better blocker than Tyler Warren is. Tyler Warren has a significantly more substantial receiving record. Better hands? Maybe. I think you are. Why are you so angry, Jeremy? Tell me. Talk to me. Talk to me in front of everybody, but privately. No, you're talking to me. I am here. You're talking to me now. Jeremy, I love you. I love you, Jeremy. Let's everybody tell Jeremy you love him. He needs to know he's loved. He needs to know. It's okay. Mostly men in here. There may be a young lady or two. We get those in here, right? Paula's one. There's others. Jets baby. But it's okay to tell everybody to tell another man you love him. Let's say thank you, New York Jets fan, for he loves you. Everybody, tell Jeremy you love him. Cuca Lake won't say it. He's not going to say it. Anywho, Jeremy, what do you think about this? So we were talking about it in the Talking Jets panel. I'm really curious. I'm going to put this in a poll too. Jeremy, I want to know what you think about this. So Tyler Warren, so the top 6 sees this happen, okay? It sees this happen. Jared Drum says you're pretty okay. Flight Boys loves you. Extinguish the Guilt loves you. Everybody see that feel good, Jeremy, right? Feels good. So here's what we did. So the top 6 of the draft, the Jets cannot find a trade partner. We're stuck at 7. Infrared's crying. He smashed his table with the Dorito bowl on it. There's Doritos everywhere. The Jets are on the clock. And the top 6 goes like this: Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, Tyler Warren, Armand Membu. Okay, so the top guys for the Jets are gone. So these are the guys left. Who we taking? Okay, you got Mason Graham. Okay, he's a defensive tackle. You got Will Johnson. He's a cornerback. You got Tet McMillan. He's a wide receiver. Jeremy, who else? So I was going to put Loveland up there. Yeah, so we'll do Loveland. What the fuck's his first name? Colston Loveland? What's wrong with me? Loveland, a tight end. Let me see. What tells us first? Colston, everybody. All right. Now remember, the Jets, we got Justin Fields, so you got that whole. My argument is we gotta find a way to go offense. Right? But so here's what it is. But Jeremy, I want to hear. No, we can't trade back, I said. Remember, I said that the Jets tried, they can't do it. That's why Infrared broke his table with the Doritos. You got to listen to me. Well, of course, it's easy for you, JJ Hamza. You want to take Graham no matter what anyway. That's your guy. That's your guy. Hold on. So go ahead, get your votes in. See, this is the thing. Just be so you this is if look, so just because Membu and Tyler Warren are gone, people are going to pivot to defensive tackle. That's interesting to me. See, not me. Oh. Now I'm mad at everybody. You guys are ruining my night. Now I'm mad. Jeremy got me upset. I'm afraid. I'm scared for my friend. I feel like he's upset, and he made me upset. Now everybody wants to go talk about Mason Graham. Um, so Christopher Byers says, if not Graham, other defensive tackles. I can't do it. Graham is a solid run. Yeah, but I did fucking run stopper. I'll get you a fucking run stopper in the 6th round. Please. Jesus Christmas, JJ Hamza. Look, Michael says it too. Graham, Tet Graham. David Atkins found a way to meld them into one superior player. I love it. I'll tell you what, in that scenario, I'm going to be real honest with you. I would rather, honestly, I would rather Genty than Graham. I didn't put him up there. But man, I can't pivot to Mason Graham in my mind. I can't do it. Rover says the ultimate chess move is to trade down with the Cowboys. Well, again, we're creating a scenario, Rover, that we tried with nobody. We can't do it. The Cowboys said, yeah, we'll take a trade up, but the best we're giving you is a 5th. You can't do it. You know what I mean? You just can't do it. Hennessy says, so no offensive tackle taken after pick 42 will be started. No, that's not to say that at all. But look, I mean, a guy can be you see it all the time, right, Hennessy? There's guys, they're in the 6th round, late in the 6th round. You grab them for whatever reason, they end up starting and they're lights out. You know, it happens all the time. It's just that the lower you go down the draft, it becomes less likely because that's where the warts are. And it's hard for guys to pass through a 32 team gauntlet 6 times, 5 times, 6 times, and then end up being a starter out of the gate. It's just tough, you know? But that said, lots of those guys, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years later end up developing into solid players. Sure. But it's harder. You know, and like, you know, we look at all these numbers, you know, when they go around, they go out of the 32 teams, you know, 29 of them, their starting tackles are 1st round picks. Yeah, it's great. But that's right now. And we just had 2 really strong tackle classes. Again, guys, last year was superior. 9 offensive tackles taken in the 1st round. It's fucking crazy town. You know what I mean? That's nuts. Isu RB4. Oh, man. You know what's so funny? I now forgot. Remember we used to do that with your name back in the day? I forget. But we did this work already, buddy. But I forget. But my pivot is Kelvin Banks, another tackle. Okay. That's interesting. Now, I don't know if, you know, like it's one of those things where you're looking at a guy, if you don't have him as a 1st round pedigree, even if you look at tackle as a greater need, if you're looking at pick 7 in 1st round and you're looking at Banks and you're like, he's, you know, just on your board, he's not a 1st round. And you got guys like Graham, Jihad Campbell, Starks, Tet McMillan, you know, all these other guys at different positions. You're really reaching for that positional need is where you start getting into dangerous water. You know what I mean? But if you like them, like it's like, look, 2 years ago when we took Will McDonald, I made no secrets. I liked Broderick Jones fine, and I liked Paris Campbell, but my guy in that draft, that tackle, was Anton Harrison, and he was still on the board. And I was like, good, let the Patriots trade with the Steelers. Let them take Broderick Jones. Let's get Anton Harrison. You know what I mean? And a lot of people didn't even have him in the 1st round on their boards. Infrared loves chaos. There he is. Jets chaos says Mike Green. That's another. And then you got, there's there's a few. I only have four options there, but there's lots of guys that we could have put up there. But let's end this poll. I haven't looked at it, so I'm going to look and see what we got here. You guys are nuts. So they see that the offensive guys split right in half. All the guys on the defensive side went with Mason Graham, but the offense split. So that's how he won. So we got Mason Graham with 45%, Tet McMillan with 25%, Colston Loveland with 25%, and 2% for the cornerback, Will Johnson. Yeah. So that's, I don't know. It's interesting. Now, do I think it's going to go that way? I don't. Let's take a look at something here. Let's take a look at a couple mocks, predictive mocks, right? So let's see what we got here. So Tankathon, this is how they have it going. So Cam Ward, consensus number one overall pick this year. I mean, it'd be something if he wasn't, right? Because Sam Darnold was the consensus number one pick in 2018. Follow that with Travis Hunter, the cornerback, wide receiver. How will they use him, right? Abdul Carter going to the Giants. Will Campbell, tackle to the Patriots. Jaguars taking Mason Graham. The Raiders taking Ashton Genty. And then the Jets taking Membu. But look, any of these. So I think that's more realistic than the scenario that I put forth. But the Jaguars grabbing Tyler Warren is a realistic scenario that could take place. The Raiders could go with Membu, no doubt. So just like that takes, Mason Graham and Ashton Genty and pushes them. But Tyler Warren and Membu could absolutely be gone. But then you got guys, Jalen Walker is interesting. Like was just mentioned, Kelvin Banks. They got him at 11 too. So your pivot wasn't too bad. ISU 4B for real, buddy. It's something to do with a school, right? Like Iowa State University for real, right? Something like that. I almost remember. I got to be close. But look, they have Colston Loveland going 14. Let's take a look at another one. Did I do it? So Draft Tech has Cam Ward. Oh my God, these pop-ups, man. They're all over the place. I can't even move the page. So bad. All right. So then they got Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. So far, we're exactly the same. Then you got Will Campbell. That's the same. Mason Graham. That's the same. Tet McMillan going to the Raiders. So that's a little different. Instead of Ashton Genty. So that takes the wide receiver off the board that most people have as the top receiver. And then look, the Jets, they have the Jets taking Tyler Warren. Interesting. Let me see another one. Hold on. Is Walter Football still out there? I haven't been here in a long time. Walter Football, let's take a look. So they got Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, so far so good. Abdul Carter. Will Campbell, same. Jags taking Genty. That's a little changey poo. And the Raiders taking Membu. So that pushes Tyler Warren. But they got us taking, oh, there it is. Mason Graham. See that? And this is Hamza's point. The Jets have been woeful against the run for far too long. Relentless player with a nonstop motor. So anyway, interesting. Hennessy checking back in says, I might take Mike Green in this scenario. That's what Jeremy brought up too. Mike Green. Interesting player, man. Jalen Walker, interesting player, right? Let's see what we got here. I'll take some comments. Sean McAteer, I feel we will move back and our top two won't be there. Who do we take then? Do we reach or go to best available? Well, that's what we're exploring, Sean, a little bit. We're trying to look into that. We're peeping Tom through that window. That's the window we're looking in right now. What's going on in there? What does that look like? What does that look like? All right, so here we go. This is what we'll do. You ready? Okay, here we go. So we'll do a 7th round. We'll do it nice and fast. Here we go. The Jets. Do we trade with Pittsburgh for next year's 1st and 2nd? Nothing for this year. How dare they? Houston wants us to go to 25. They'll give us this year's 2nd, next year's 2 seconds, and a 6th. 33, they give us pick 67, which is a 3rd, and they give us a 1st and 2nd and 4th next year. Crazy. I'm going to take one of these. Well, let's not. Let's just stick and pick. So here we go. We got Genty, got Shador Sanders. This is what I hope. I hope Genty and Shador Sanders make it to us. That's what I hope. Because if so, I think those are the 2 most likely players to garner any sort of trade up. They're exciting players. Running back devalued, but the top running back in the class, as good as he is, again, sliding to pick 7, trading up top is one thing. But if these guys make it to 7, maybe we're close enough. But Shador Sanders, I think, dude, he's arguably the top the top 2 quarterbacks in the whole draft. So anyway, let's take a guy. Let's see what happens if we go defense. Okay? So we'll do what they said before, and we'll take Jalen Walker. We'll see what this looks like. Now, I'm not going to do that. Let's go real. We're going to take Membu and see where it goes. Okay? So here we go. We went deep. We went offensive tackle. Let's see what we look like now. I'm not going to take any trades. There goes Swessinger. There goes Milrow. Kelvin Banks, look at this one. Made it all the way to 39. There goes Trey Harris, Jalen Knoll. Wow. So I got my tackle. I still want to go offense, but I got 2 really exciting guys right here that I love. Kenneth Grant and Tyleik Williams. And look at this. In this scenario, I already went tackle. Now, what I really want is wide receiver or tight end. That's what I want here. And you see what happened. Josh Connerly's right there. I could have taken a tackle right here. And look at all the wide receivers that are gone. Luther Burden's gone. Come on, what's going on here? Why can't I scroll? There we go. It won't let me scroll if it's big. Here we go. Okay. So look at this. Look at all the receivers that are gone. Jalen Knowles gone. Trey Harris is gone. And you could very realistically see this. And this is what spooks me about doing stupid shit in the draft. Like, you got to pay attention to what the draft is. Now, again, this is just a sim, right? We don't, but anyway, it presents a scenario. So when you do stupid shit, like take a defensive tackle in the first, you end up seeing the other positions get depleted. And then the position that you took, because it's deep, ends up still being strong. Like, look, if we would have taken Mason Graham, if he's there, and I'm looking at Kenneth Grant and Ty Williams being right there, I love those guys. I like them just as much as I like Mason Graham. But anyway, look at these wide receivers that are gone. Trey Harris, Jalen Knoll, Luther Burden's gone. Emeka Abuka's gone. Matthew Golden's gone. Obviously, Tet McMillan's gone. So look at all those wide receivers that are gone. Toast. So let me look at this. All right, you can get Higgins and Williams and Royals and all those guys. How tall is Royals again? Right. So I think the Jets got Jaden Higgins, who's 6'4", but I think the Jets are going to want a shifty guy. That's what I think. Well, let's quickly take a look at the tight ends. So what do? Mason Taylor, or do I go wide receiver? Because now I'm going to tell you what. Mason Taylor's not going to make it to the third round. And then I got to look at the other guys that may or may not be available. You see what's happening here? I could have still got a great tackle and Josh Connerly, but now my wide receivers are beat up and my tight ends are beat up, and now I got to take one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tight end. I'm going to take Mason Taylor. I flipped it, right? So I got Membu and Taylor. Now, I'm happy with those guys. Don't get me wrong. But let's take a look. So there's Fannin. He stayed. Terrence Ferguson, Arroyo's still there. Let's look at the wide receivers now. Royals, Besh. So I still got some guys I like. But I want the shifty. Roy, let me see something. Interesting. I would go with Besh here. I can't get my shift. My little quickster. All right. Man, look at my safeties. They're beat up, and I really want one. Linebackers, Stutzman's hanging around. Look at my defensive tackles. They're beat up now. Now I'm in no man's land. I do like Farmer, and I still got some guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shore up my safety room. That's what I'm going to do. I got a big hole at safety. Oh, wrong guy. Damn it. Jeremy, I wanted Sanker. I picked somebody. Who the fuck did I pick? Jalen Reed. He's all right. I'm not unhappy. I picked the wrong guy. Damn it. All right. So now what I want to do here, I'm beat up. I like Peebles. Let me see something. Yeah, I can't do it. Let me see. I can't believe I didn't get my, but Jalen Reed's okay. I'm okay. I'm going to go with Piguez. That's who I'm going with here. Now, where am I? I got 162, 186, and 207. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab Kaiser right here. Now I'm going to do this. I love Ricky White, but yeah, I don't see him. Let me see. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab Ricky White. I'm going to start rounding out my team. I'm starting to push guys off my roster. And now, what am I going to do here? I'm going to grab Willie Lampkin. That's what I'm going to do. Right there. See how this goes? So there we go. How'd I do, everybody? Give me your letter grade. So we started it out. I went tackle, which, like I said, I would be fine. If the Jets do that, I'm happy with Armand Membu. I love it. Go ahead and finish your offensive line. Do the job. Finish the job. I'm game. But me personally, I'm not doing it that way. If I could avoid, I'm leaning Tyler Warren up top. That said, I know, right? No kicker, Isaac. I hear you. Armand Membu. I follow that with Mason Taylor and Jack Besh. I'm totally fine with my top three. Jalen Reed, it really would be Jonas Sanker. So let's call him Jonas Sanker. I finally get a UVA guy in the house, but I really do like the player at safety. Pegues, defensive tackle at Ole Miss. Jack Kaiser, my developmental linebacker there. Ricky White, I think he's better than people realize. And my pipeline offensive guard. Drum says solid B. Hamza says it's a B. Chaos says this is actually realistic. Yeah, it is, right? That's why I feel the same way. It's a realistic draft. Looks like RB, I did it for you. He says, go IOL. I did it. I did it for you, buddy. RB says, love Ricky White. Me too. Exactly, Hennessy. That's the thing. Like we talk about all the time. Guys like Dom C and his ultimate wisdom have told he says it over and over again. When you get into the 6th round, 7th round, and all that stuff, you look at a guy and you bet on a trait, right? So he's raw. He's got lots of things to work on, but he does this one thing really well. or he's big and he's strong, right? Or he's got great hands in the defensive tackle, or super fast, whatever it is, something like that. He's got things to work on, but there's something he does really well that you can build on. Super athletic, high RAS score, those types of things. I also like the fact that I like guys that are what we call football players, right? Average. They're just an average guy, but they're gonna be really good on special teams for you. They're gonna play their asses off. They can fill in depth at their position, whether it's a linebacker, whether it's a running back, whether it's a wide receiver or defensive lineman or what have you. And they're the makeup character-wise, mentally, that they have that really good work ethic. They're intelligent, particularly football smart, and you can develop them. That's what I'm looking for. Those are the guys I'm looking for. So I think on the back end here, Jonas Sanker, I take Jonas Sanker at pick 110. I'm going to make him earn it, but I got eyes on him starting this year. That's what I'm doing. I'm starting him. I'm saying, all right, kid, it's time to learn the hard way. You're going to be doing something we call taking your lumps. JJ Pegues, like it. Jack Kaiser, Ricky White, love it. Willie Lampkin, I'd be very happy with this draft. Exactly, not exactly the way I'd go. He gives me a B from Byers. Boba Bombs, B-. Infrared loves it. See that with no trade backs? Thank you, Chris. RB says I would have gotten Grant in the second and Ferguson later. Yeah, and that's an option. Or Ty Williams. Tyleik Williams, man, is a bad man. But Kenneth Grant, I love Kenneth Grant. I love the way he plays the game. So either one of those guys, I could have definitely gone that way too. Again, you hear me all the time. I don't love defensive tackles in the first round. I just don't. Not that I can't do it, but I don't. It's a position that I'm very comfortable. I can get more than adequate production in the mids and even late rounds. But a guy like Kenneth Grant or Tyleik Williams, think about this too, RB. If your draft philosophy, especially my first draft, I'm a new GM. It's my first ever draft. Terrible team that's just been through heartbreak forever. I got me and my new coach coming out of the gate going offensive tackle, defensive tackle. It's a little bit of a statement. What is he telling you there? My value is in the trenches. The trenches win football games, and that's a statement. You know what I mean? Coming out of the gate, offensive tackle, defensive tackle right out of the gate makes a statement. So I could get with that. I could. Especially when guys like Kenneth Grant and Tyleik, if Ty would, truth be told, if I had to do it, if I'm the guy pulling the trigger, I'm probably going Tyleik Williams. But I love Kenneth Grant. Flight Boys gives me a B plus. T Money don't like it. You got to tell me why, T Money. I'll look for your comment. Like, tell me where I went south for you. Isaac says B. JJ Hamza says 8 solid picks is a good draft. Damn right. We could tell you, JJ, we should hope for just, you know what I mean? Solid picks. Guys that you feel confident can come in. Again, not a swing for the fences, not some crazy, like, look, with all due respect, like a Quantez Stiggers last year. Like, there were so many guys on the board, and he might be great, and I love the story, and I'm all in, right? I'm all in on Stiggers, but he's not the pick I'm making last year. There were plenty of guys still on the board that I liked, particularly interior offensive line, if I remember correctly. Havmo says, looks good. Got the guys I want. Wide receiver at 2, regardless, but this works. Yeah. Michael LaMountain comes in with a solid B. Right, Isaac? I could see that being the first 3 picks. I could. Infrared says B. Yeah, there you go. Sean McAteer says, if we pick at 7, Warren is my pick. Ursery in the second, and figure the third out. Yeah, that's a solid plan. Extinguish the guilt with a B. Christopher Byers, 8 picks, offensive tackle, OG, 2 wide receivers, tight ends. Right, there you go. Got it all covered. I should have got a kicker. After all my bullshit, right? And I don't even get a kicker. RB says, I could see moving Tippmann to guard next year and Lampkin at center. They both profile better in those positions. Yeah, I'm all about it. Why not? Chris says, Warren, Ursery, Kyle Williams, or Alfred Collins. Yeah. Have most, yeah, wide receiver at 42. I'm with it. Jake Aspen checking in. What are you doing up so late, Jake? Inject green bean on a Tuesday night into my veins. My pleasure, baby. There you go. Good to see you, my friend. I'll tell you, it's almost midnight. That happened fast. I am done. You hear my voice? I'm spent. I've been going all day. All day. I took about an hour and laid down, looked at my phone. got caught up in some bullshit wormhole for a little bit, closed my eyes for about 15 minutes, and the rest of the day's been work. Workity, work, work, work. Talking, 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 talking. All right, let's do what I'm going to do before I leave. We're going to do another one real quick, and we're going to go the different route. So I want you guys to remember this. Wait, hold on. Here. Wait. Oh, for God's sakes. Get out of here with this. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, let me just screenshot this real quick, and we'll do a little compare. I'm going to go the opposite way now with this. Real quick. We'll do it quick style. Just to see how it falls. Ooh, look, Membo went at 5 this time, though. No trades. It's a little bit different. Similar, but different. So this time, we're going to take Tyler Warren and see how, you know what? Let's do Mason Graham and see how it works out. So this time, we'll take Mason Graham, like you guys were talking about. What the hell is this? Hold on a second. Hold on. All right, I'll take Mason Graham. We're going to see how the draft falls. Okay. So now we got our defensive tackle up here. So I'm going to go ahead and take Josh Connerly, the offensive tackle here. Again, that statement, right? Mooj coming in. It's his first draft. He's letting the world know the New York Jets value the trenches. That's how we're going to win football games. So I'm grabbing Josh Connerly. Now, what I really want to do, I want to start looking at my pass catchers. So we'll look at the top wide receivers here. Kyle Williams, Tez Johnson. Up top here, Dante Thornton. See, he's climbing. I told you guys he would. It's looking like a 4th rounder. Oh, I love him. But let's see here. So here we are. We're really looking at, and like I said, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Jets are going to want a shifty slot guy. I just got this feeling. I do. So, but we'll look at the tight ends and see who's there. So we got Fannin, Ferguson, Arroyo, and Helm hanging around. So they're still on the board. Kyle Williams. I'm going to go Kyle Williams here. That's what we're going to do. So now we're going to look at I got my tackles. I got a wide receiver. I really want to make sure. Look, all my tight ends are gone. All of them. See that? Damn it. See, I know Gadsden a little bit, but I don't like him. But I don't know these guys well enough. I'm going to have to get beat up on my tight end. You see that? So this is where it's starting to make me pay for it. How do my safeties look? I got to do it. So I got a tackle, I got a receiver, but I need me a good safety. I'm taking Jonas Sanker. See, I'm getting screwed out of the tight ends. Let me look at my tight ends here. Man, I can't even speak to these guys too well. So who would I get here? I'm in the 5th round. Let me see something. I got to start looking at BPA here a little bit. You know, damn it. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go a different route with this one. I'm taking Nick Nash. So now let me see the same tight ends are hanging around. You know what I end up doing here? Oh man. I'm gonna go tight end and I'm gonna take Eurosec here. That's what I'm gonna do. So now I'm looking at my linebackers. I like Lindbergh bosses here, but I want to make sure. Let me see what's going on. Tate, Lampkin. I like Lampkin. That's the thing. Nick Nash, Eurosec. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take Bassa here. And now I'm gonna hope. Yep, I'm gonna do this. There we go. Okay. So we'll do a little comparison. Okay, real quick. Let me do something. I'll show you guys real quick how I do it. You guys ready for me? I'm going to show you my skills. You guys ready for the skills? Okay, here we go. Skill time. All right, here we go. So watch this, everybody. It's time for skills. Give me just a few seconds. I'm going to do a comparison for you. I'm going to put it so you guys can see it the right way. Okay? And I'm going to do that. Let's go like this, though. Hold on. Come on, for fuck's sake. My skills. Okay. And now we got this one. I'll go ahead and I'm going to screenshot this. And you guys are going to tell me which one you like best. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm putting it together for you guys because I'm a sexy beast. I'm just doing some work here for you guys real quick. So the top one is all right, here we go. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I'll share a different page for you. My skills, my super skills. You're going to see how talented I am now. You ready? All right, I did it. Super talented green bean. All right, here we go. So let me make sure it's okay. So the first draft is the bottom one. Why did I do that? Why don't I just do it the right way, right? There we go. Okay, so I'll just put a poll up here real quick. You guys are going to tell me which one it is. So the top one is the first one. And I want to know. Top, bottom. Okay, here we go. The poll is up. So let's talk about it real quick. We'll do this. We'll give it like a minute or two. So the first one, we went offensive tackle first. And that set our draft in a specific direction, right? So we were able to get Mason Taylor at 42. Followed that with a wide receiver, Jack Besh. at 73. Then we went safety Jalen Reed, really Jonas Sanker. Okay, so it's Sanker on both. So we got Jonas Sanker at 110, JJ Puguez at 145, the defensive tackle. We got linebacker Jack Kaiser at 162. We followed that with wide receiver Ricky White. And then offensive guard Willie Lampkin at 207. The next one, we went different route. We chose Mason Graham, the defensive tackle, in the beginning. That gave us Josh Connerly in the second and Kyle Williams in the third. So similar, positions-wise anyway. So then we followed it. We've got Jonas Sanker again, Nick Nash, wide receiver, Benjamin Urasek, tight end, Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker, at 186, and Willie Lampkin. So there's a couple players that are the same, Lampkin and Sanker on both, but then everything else is different, right? So you guys got to tell me what you think. Hamza likes the second one better. Well, you're right, Mason Graham up top for you too. So there you go. Greg C likes it too, JJ. Man, my voice is destroyed. Man, all right. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I like Nash, man. I really do. I know Bradigan. I was thinking Lackey there. But I got to tell you, I was actually, we were talking about Urasek a couple weeks ago. I do like him. I mean, honestly, it's not just like a throwaway pick. I like him. If I didn't, I would have taken Lackey there. But I think Urasek might be a better. No, I don't know. I like Lackey. But Urasek, I think, is a solid pick. Good blocker, good hands. Let's see. RB says, now do a Warren at 7. You want to real quick do a Warren at 7 and see what they look like? Let me do a poll and see. All right, so I'll end this poll. We'll do that. We'll do a quick one with Warren at 7. Watch, he's going to get picked. Hold on. Did everybody vote? I only got 13 fucking votes. What are you guys doing? Forget it. No way. I thought we were all in together. I thought you guys were into it. Maybe not. You guys are like, boo, boring. Rover bet. I actually don't think Connerly's going to be there at pick 42. I don't know. I think he's going to go in the first. Well, that would mean that Will Campbell, Armand Membu, Banks, likely Simmons. That would mean 5 offensive tackles in the first. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, there's only 18 votes. So, all right, I'll end the poll. So you guys chose the top one. Pretty solidly, too. 72% like the first one, with Membu over Graham as the first pick. And that gives you the tackle, the tight end, the wide receiver. So Membu, Taylor, Besh over Graham, Connerly, and Kyle Williams. I got to tell you, clearly I'm not on the defensive tackle up top, but I might like the second one better. I might, because I think Connerly and Membu are on the same plane. It's very similar. Mason Graham. See, the only thing is I do like Mason Taylor, obviously, more than Urasek for me. So I don't know. I might like the second one better. Kyle Williams, I do like more than Jack Besh. Sanker on both. Nick Nash, I like better than Ricky White. I do love Ricky White, though, but I love Nick Nash. Kaiser, Bassa. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if Connolly's going to be there. All right. Yeah, where's Trapillo? We didn't get him. We didn't get him this time. Tell you, it's really nuts because, when we do these mocks and these sims and everything, you look at a lot, you look at these names, you see a lot of, like, you start to know the simulators. Like I just saw, who said it? RB said, Connerly's usually here in the second on this simulator. Like, so we do these so much, you start to really get to know the sims, right? You start to know. You get, you know what I mean? The tendencies. But like, it's weird. Like in the draft, a lot of these guys that we think we're used to seeing in the second round, in the third round, or whatever, they're not going to be there. It's a whole different thing. It's like you look at the 2021 draft. We dissected the living shit out of that talent pool. I'm going to tell you, I remember this. I'm going to shoot real straight with you. Elijah Moore, nobody had us taking Elijah Moore. I mean, as far as us, like our Jets fans and everything, Elijah Moore was off the table for us. We didn't see it. Michael Carter, the running back, people liked him. So he was realistic as far as our picks. But let me tell you something. After that, Jamie and Sherwood, no one had, and I'm talking about us, not Kuiper and all those, us. Nobody had Sherwood. Nobody had Michael Carter II. Nobody had Jason Pinnock. Nobody had Jonathan Marshall. And I mean nobody. Who was the other one? Hamza Nasruddin. Nobody. So it's one of those things. Like we see these players all the time. Look at last year. Quantez Stiggers. We all went to Dom. Dom, what's up with Quantez Stiggers? He said, I never heard of him. I've never even heard of him before. Think about that. So it's a crazy thing, the draft. It's just fucking fun stuff. Greg C says, I think it would be really hard for teams to handle Williams and Graham. Think about that. Quinnen Williams and Mason Graham. It'd be something. For sure. Beefy says, I prefer Trapillo over Ursery. No, I prefer Trapillo over Ursery, but not over Connerly. Not me. But I'd be delighted. If the Jets come away, like my best case scenario is that the Jets slide back, are able to get a second. Best case scenario, the Jets slide back, are able to get a second, and whatever else. But it does we get a second this year. And we are able to, Tyler Warren won't be there. All right. But I think the Jets, this is my best case. So we slide back, we get an extra second. The Jets take Emeka Ibuka or Luther Burden in the first. All right. Somewhere, let's say 21. So we take pick 21, we get Emeka Ibuka or Luther Burden in the first round. Then we go to the second round. We get Josh Connerly, Trapillo, and Mason Taylor, or I don't love Arroyo, but let's just say Mason Taylor. So we got Ibuka, Connerly, Taylor, and with our other second round pick, or and then like it's tough. I'm getting lost in my own damn thoughts here. Like Imanwari won't, but like a Makuba safety. That's what I would prioritize safety over defensive tackle this year, early on. That's me. We have a hole at strong safety. What I want to see is the Jets get someone with a bit of a pedigree that comes in and he's our starter for the next 4 years. That's what I want to see. I want to see a young, hungry, nasty ass, strong safety that can cover and tackle. That's what I want. So anyway, we'll see. Guys, it's 12:12. That makes this one almost a fucking 2-hour show. Crazy. I love you guys. I'm done. Damn it. Hey, I thank you guys for hanging out with me into the wee hours. I got to get up and go to work and all that jazz, so I'm going to bounce out of here. Please don't forget to hit the like button. More importantly, though, if you'd be so kind, please subscribe to the channel. It is the only way we grow over here. I thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to this draft, man. Tomorrow night, I'll be with Tigo at 8 p.m. on Talking Jets. And then Thursday night, no Thursday, thick of it this week. We're moving the show over to the Talking Jets Network. I'll be with my boys, Ryan and Matt O'Leary, for the Talking Jets full draft coverage to begin our 6th consecutive year live from the first pick to the last pick of the NFL draft. Guys, I will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. with Tigo, and we'll go from there. Enjoy the rest of your eve. Let's call it morning. Enjoy the rest of your morning, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.
I think he's going to be day one, a violent vertical edge setter.